Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Yep, it's another day. Today we're just going to be walking again. It is the weekend, so yeah. Yesterday was pretty normal, as always, and today is going to be normal as well. No adventure today. Pretty much we'll probably just be doing cooked earth again today. Yesterday's cooked earth was a bit short than I thought, but that's alright. It was quite adventurous. So, yeah. I think for the cooked earth series, we're kind of we got lot of exploring to do. A lot of exploring to do. Hmm. Yeah, so a lot of exploring to do, and what else is there? Yeah, basically just a lot of exploring to do, and that's really about it. And for today, right now, we're just gonna be walking, and yeah, that's really about it. Ain't nothing much happening yesterday. Don't really have any topics considering that it's only been like what 1 day since we talked about ecosystems. So yeah, there really ain't nothing else to look at, and also there's nothing else to really read. Because after reading that Love is War thing, which has been like I guess 3 days, 4 days now, there's nothing else to really talk about because I haven't found anything else interesting to read. Yeah, so today's just gonna be a slow walk. I'm not really sure why though. We haven't actually eaten much yesterday, and today I plan to just really eat potatoes because it's potatoes, so I'm just gonna eat a bunch of potatoes. And today we're here at the gym, normal time. Yesterday we were here 1 hour earlier, and there were so many people, but it seems like today's a lot more chill. Very significantly less people here, so not bad at all. Yeah, and there's nothing to really upgrade or buy. The only upgrade to really buy, well, not upgrade, but the only thing I need to really buy is just another 5 terabyte hard drive because we've only got like 1 terabyte left. But I mean, it's honestly not that bad considering that hard drives are only what like 200, no, $300 for 5 terabytes. So it's not that bad. Yeah, plus it's not. I already spent like what 200 plus on the Arc Worlds because yeah, during the Steam sale, I literally bought the Arc DLCs and stuff on sale. Currently, right now the style we are doing for the Scorched Earth is quite nice. We're live streaming it every hour instead of being silent and recording it. I think it's because we're still in the growing phase of the journey. We'll see how it goes. But besides that, I think we should really get into another series besides Cooked Earth. I'm thinking about another series, but actually, there's a lot of things to do, kind of. I still have a lot of story data, and I haven't actually illustrated any of them yet. They're just in the database with all sorts of scenarios. I'm actually thinking about what we could do today. Besides Cooked Earth, I didn't do any stories yesterday, so should have done some stories. Well, yeah, really just what else did I do? There's a lot of things to do on Cooked Earth. There's some stories to make. No, some stories to react to, and I guess we've also got some stories we could also make some more stories if we wanted. Maybe illustrate again, like, I don't know, not like drawing manga is like super, takes so long. Like my stupid fish one I made took like minimum 2 to 3 hours just to have 2 pages worth, and the drawing wasn't even good. It was just random testing. If you guys are really curious about what I draw, you can find me on Webtoon. I reckon you'll find it. Just search up the name. There's only like one weird thing on there. Oh no, not weird. There's just one chapter. What do you call those things? It's like a One Punch Man kind of style. Just shitty drawing with the story. And tomorrow we're probably gonna go back on the stairs. I really thought I had something to talk about today, but can't really think of a topic. It's crazy how fast the world moves too. It's like, what, only like a week ago something about, yeah, it's all just the Matrix and noise. It really is just the Matrix and noise. News is empty again. Nothing's really happening. Really, everyone's just in their own ecosystem. True. Everyone really is just in their own ecosystem. Our current ecosystem is just chilling. Now, I was thinking about, certain upgrades, right? But I really can't think of any kind of tech upgrades we need, honestly. Only thing is the 5 terabyte hard drive. The only reason I'm thinking about other upgrade is when I buy the 5 terabyte hard drive, I might add something random to the cart, but there's nothing really to add. We've got a mic, we've got a keyboard, we've got a mouse, check. We have one of the best webcams from Ugreen, check. We got a good single monitor, check. I've got a good side monitor, plus, by the way. A tip is that the way I stream, since I don't really look at anything else and I use OBS now, I don't actually need another monitor. I actually only use half of the monitor I have because on my secondary screen, I don't look at there's no display of any kind of viewers. The only thing it displays is just the chat and OBS stats. And that's it. So I don't even need a third monitor. Even if I wanted a third monitor, even if I wanted a third monitor, I already have the third one just chilling in the gulag. We've got the consoles chilling in the gulag, unopened. Oh no, just in the boxes doing nothing. So none of those are needed. What else is there? Pretty much it just seems like, I think it's just really time at this point. That's the only thing that we would realistically need, which is time. And we've got time, so it's not bad. Not bad. I shouldn't have drank so much water, but since we drank so much water already, we can't actually, unfortunately, run because I already drank like so much water. And yeah, whoops, my bad. Is there any other upgrades? No, there really is no upgrades. I mean, we've got the mic. Mic is chilling. Headphones are chilling. For these earth logs, the headphones and chopsticks method works. It's working quite well. And if we're in public, e.g., hunting and fishing, I will usually just tie the mic. I just clip the mic onto the jacket. Yeah, I'll just clip it onto the jacket. Really. So I was thinking about buying those on Temu. There's like this headset mic thing, but only really need the carcass for it, not the actual mic thing, because the DJ mic's already the best. So I really am just buying it for the carcass. I'm planning to buy one of those headsets that, those tour guides or aquarium people wear. It's like there's no headphones. There's just one single mic thing and it hooks around the ears. And when they talk, they speak to like, yeah, something like that. I'll figure it out. But it's not like I really use the headphones right now, I find. So no need to upgrade that. Yeah. I guess there's nothing to really buy or upgrade. I mean, sure, you can always upgrade the Macs, which there's no need to upgrade any of the Macs right now. Technically, we could upgrade the PC, but I really don't need to. The PC we have right now is fine. It's absolutely fine. 1080p is fine. There's no need to really upgrade any of the Gulag stuff. There's no need to upgrade. There's no need to really upgrade the drone fleet either. The only other realistic upgrade for the drone fleet is probably just the Avata 2, the POV one with goggles. That's like the only thing I can think of that would be kind of interesting, but would probably cost like 4K, probably. Or you can get a more advanced Mavic drone instead, which is probably like nearly 5 to 6K, but it can go higher and it's got more zoom in and just overall would be a lot better than the flip. But the flip already does quite a good job. But that's only the drone fleet, and the drone fleet is don't really have any use for the drone fleet. Why not? I mean, there's not really. I can't really think of any good uses if I buy a Vata 2 or a Mavic, because I could already do most of the stuff with the flip anyways. It's not like I'm dropping bombs or anything, and it's not like I really need to spy on anyone either. And there's nothing to really fly and look over it. DJI's drone system is getting a bit more funnier. No, not funnier. It's getting a bit more loose. The requirement to fly the drones, the restrictions have been lifted, is what I meant to say. Before, you needed to do a whole bunch of signing and agreements before launching any kind of drone on DJI, but it seems like they've basically lowered the restrictions. So they just basically go, oh, if you fly it, you can fly it. All goods. It is what it is. Before, they would have agreements saying, you must sign this, you must be allocated, you must be okay to fly this here. Press yes if you agree. So then I just press yes anyways. But yeah, it's really nothing else. Also, drones are really loud. Very loud. Like even the flip, if I deploy the flip, people can easily hear it. If I deploy the Neo, people can hear it, but the Neo is so small that during a good condition weather, it's pretty hard to see it. I wonder if people still want to do property drone stuff. Apparently, if you have a drone, you could do like property filming for them, right? I could do that with the flip, but I don't really care. So besides that, there's really no other upgrades. Zero. Okay, even though we drank water, I reckon we could actually manage to run the rest of the way. We're running at 13 speed, by the way. But there you go. It turns out if you're on at 13 speed for like 4 minutes or five, you can basically hit 1 mile. So that's pretty interesting to know. So it turns out if you run at 13 speed for like 4 or 5 minutes, or maybe 3 minutes, you do like 1 km. Oh no, sorry, 1 mile. 1 mile. So 1 mile, 3 minutes. Oh no, it's more like 1 mile, 4 minutes to five. If we run at 13 speed, then we'll probably reach 3.1 something miles in like less than 15 minutes. Oh well, the data's not bad. Just a little running at the end. I honestly thought we couldn't do it because we drank the water, but turns out we'll be fine. So yeah, at the end we sprinted at 13 for like what 5 minutes, and yeah, it basically took us not to it took us like less than I think around 4 to 5 minutes to go from 2 point something to 3 point that. So yeah, overall it's not that bad considering that we drank so much water already. You know the usual. Someone touched us again. It's slippery. Feels like moist. It's just, we still got a lot of water to drink, but that's alright. It looks like golden hour is here. That's good. Golden hour is literally less than five. That's good. Much better than yesterday. Yesterday was crazy. It's surprising how you'd think that coming earlier is good. Well, no, I already knew that, but yeah, seems like the mid the timing is the timing we go at is almost perfect golden hour because if you go slightly earlier, you actually bump into the convoy. You bump into like a midnight convoy where these people that are here an hour earlier than what the usual time we go to, they haven't actually slept yet. You know, matter of fact, there is a video idea I had on my phone a long time ago. It's been like nearly a week now. It was the video. No, it wasn't an idea. It was to basically publish a sophisticated chat I had with an AI. It was pretty philosophical or whatever the word is. Basically, a purposeful conversation. But I guess I haven't made the video yet. All I have to do is just voice over it. My water's done. One water's done. One water's done. But yeah, the only reason I haven't actually done it is because I don't know. I don't really voice over. Half the time I barely voice over. My reading is not. I'm more better at just reading. Like, no, hold on. I'm better at just talking out loud my thoughts rather than reading a script. I guess they just say something about me, huh? I just say it instead of writing a script and then reading it off a script. I feel like it's more. Yeah, well, it really depends. I guess that does say something about me, huh? I rarely do voiceovers or copyright. I don't know. Maybe, maybe because to a degree it feels kind of less real. That is actually true. Because what's crazy is that a lot of videos on YouTube, people do voiceovers, right? But sometimes in reality, the people aren't actually, they didn't actually write the script. They just voiced over it. They actually hire a copywriter to write it all down, and then they just speak it out. I guess that is why I don't do voiceovers much. I don't really do voiceovers. Don't have a script. I don't have a script to read off, because I guess you could just say I'm more real like that. I mean, I guess leaders usually have like a speech there, right? You know what I mean? I guess it really just depends on the context. But usually when you give a speech, I mean, let's be real here. You know, hold on, shut up, wait. I mean, let's be real here, right? You know, a lot of leaders have speeches, right? No, they have like scripts, but you know, let's delve into the other world, right? Did you see Erwin Smith hold a paper? I didn't see him hold a paper. You know what I mean? Like, hey, logic proven right there, straight up. Did you see Erwin, fuck. Did you see Erwin Smith have a piece of paper? Nope. I didn't see no paper on him. Gee, straight up. I mean, of course it's anime, but like, why are you here to lecture to people, or are you actually just giving a proper speech? I guess that's like a small topic about voiceovers. It is what it is. Depends on the context, of course. And yeah, that's what there is to say about it. Yeah, I think that's why I haven't actually done the ARC video yet. No, the Island series. The amount of gigabytes it's gonna take is gonna be a while. We could be here for like another 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer. No, not really. This depends. Zero topics though. Can't think of any other topics. Doesn't matter, I have to drink the water anyways. Oh, chest is getting fatigued. Good. Chest is getting fatigued. Looks like we're going to be here actually longer. It's alright. Slowly getting more bloated as well. We have to drink the rest of the water. Only halfway there. Halfway in the dips, halfway in the water. Water's catching up to the body. It's catching up. It is catching up. Oh man. Alright. You know what's one thing that's annoying that I'll admit to? Wait. Shut up. Wait a minute. One thing I'll admit that's annoying is that this one area when I drive, when I go towards the gym, I've actually fell for, not fell, I have. I'll admit it. I fell for the pattern recognition. I now literally drive under 60 kilometers in this one section in the road I always take. I have to because these like goddamn speed cameras, they hide in this street, and it's like, I mean, I could technically say, you know, money's not real, right? Money is not real. Let I'll speed past them, blah blah, right? But I guess also to a degree, that's like 5 terabytes of data just to get here, like 1 to 2 minutes faster, kind of. I mean, I don't really know. All I know is that I fell for the pattern recognition because they've done it like 3 times already in the exact same street, and every single time they hit. I used to speed down that spot like at 80 or 100, but now that they changed the speed camera stuff, you know, it's a lot harder. Before like the speeding stuff changed, before it was just the police and the vans, but like the vans and No, the vans are easy to spot. Vans are easy to spot a mile away because no one uses these vans. And then police cars would. Hold on. Let me tell you how it was back in the day when I used to speed down that street before the like actual government replaced the police. Before, okay, let me tell you about it. Before the actual transport agency taking over the speed stuff. When it was the police's job to do speed, they either used the police car or they used the van. However, the van was easy to spot a mile away because what kind of van parks on the side of the street? And any kind of okay, like the van's really easy to spot because any Volkswagen van, you can assume that it's a speed camera because no one drives a Volkswagen van. Only the police did, right? And when it was a police car, since the street was dark, literally, if you're so far away, you can flash your headlights a tiny bit and you can see the police car's reflection. And plus, the police cars always have their lights on anyways. Always. Police cars always have their lights on, right? But then now, the transport agency are literally using Toyota Ravis, which literally blend into everyone else's common car, and they turn off the lights. And the Toyota Ravi is significantly more common among the normal people, so that just makes it so hard to spot them because so many normal people have the Ravis, right? And plus the lights turn off, so they literally camouflage themselves within the public, which is smart. I mean, obviously from their perspective, it's smart. From our perspective, it's annoying. No light without dark, as usual. You guys know the drill. There's no right or wrong. It's just no light without dark. No, it's just different POVs. From their POV, it's very smart. From their POV, I'll give them credit. It's smart. A lot more hidden, a lot more hidden, and it works because now pattern recognition. I really cannot speed in that street anymore because they're just so hidden. Yeah, and I turn off the lights as well. That's crazy. Because usually with the police, they always had the lights on. Even the vans, they had the lights on. Well, kind of. But with the vans, you could just again, vans are a lot more uncommon. So any kind of Volkswagen that's parked on the street, you know that it's the speed camera because anyone who actually has that kind of van in a Volkswagen would park in the driveway. No one would park their nice. I guess Toyota vans are more premium than your usual van. And then these government agency Toyotas are just blending in so good. It is what it is. But yeah, before back in my younger days, I could speed down that street to the gym, like all the way. I could speed like all the way down here. But now it's like I have to be wary of that one street. Also, there was this one back in my day as well. I keep saying back in my day like I'm like old as hell. Am I actually that old? Probably. Matter of fact, I am pretty old. Wait, am I turning 22 or 23? Ah, shit, I'm old. Why no, I'm not. I am. RIP all my classmates. If I'm old, they're ancient. GG. Oh man. Oh man, it's pretty bad. Best of luck to all the female classmates in my year. Hopefully you guys get married and have kids soon. Time's running out. Yeah, man, time's running out for you girls. But to all my dudes, hey, hey, to all my dudes, man, prime time's coming. You know what I mean? Prime time is here, which is actually funny because obviously, due to the ecosystem we are in, well, no, I think that's just in the ecosystem we're in. Men age perfectly, women deteriorate so fast. It's crazy. But that's just the way it is. It is what it is. We're done. Somehow we blitzed through the end there because we had something to talk about. Literally just had something to talk about and we blitzed through the end there. Talked about police cars and speeding for a bit. But it doesn't really matter because soon, well, not soon, probably, they're gonna have like speed zone traps. In like Forza Horizon, where if you hit a trap, they start measuring your speed all the way until you hit the end of it. Yeah, they're gonna add those. They're gonna add those. Again, the one reality though, right, is that if everyone just disobeys the speed limit, then they can't find us all. All right, we'll check our weight now, and I don't even know what we 95.50. So literally like the same as yesterday, pretty much. Same as yesterday. Right. Guess we go straight to Alpha T regime and yeah, Alpha T regime, and then we're gonna eat some food. Gonna eat some potatoes because there's potatoes this time, which is nice. What else is there? Oh yeah, probably some cooked earth today. Yeah, got a lot of exploring to do, and hmm, I'm thinking, should I do multiple series at once? Is that a smart idea? Like, should I do multiple? I feel like maybe doing multiple worlds. Like, I could do cooked earth series and a different series at the same time. Like 2 hours on cooked earth and then 2 hours on the new map. I don't know if that's a good one. I'm not sure that's a good idea or not. Feel like maybe, maybe. Well, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it again. Tomorrow we're gonna be going the stairs again, and yeah, it's not really much else to talk about. Mm, maybe. I mean, the thing about my channel is that I've compounded everything into one. So like Earth logs will always be in the channel, and any kind of unique videos I have would also be mixed in too. But it is what it is, right? You know, the playlist should help out to a degree. So yeah, see you guys next time, Ben. Right? Appreciate it. I'll give you guys a story today. Oh, not give you a story. I'll react to a story. All right, cool. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I told you guys we'd do a story. Okay, it's cold today, so we're wearing a puffer jacket. Y'all know the drill. So we're at 59 minutes of this entire 1 hour video. So I guess let's get to it. Yeah, last story was pretty trash. I'm pretty sure the last story was literally just some guy tripping because he was drunk. But we'll figure it out. Let's go. Story 8 by Hunter P. Let's do this. Let's go. Love problem solving.
I work for a property preservation company. Basically, we handle foreclosed homes, securing them, cleaning them out, winterizing them, sometimes even boarding them up if there's been vandalism. It's not glamorous work, but it pays well, and for the most part, it's quiet. You spend a lot of time alone in houses that used to belong to people who are long gone. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's just boring, but every once in a while, you get a house that feels unsettling. This happened in 2020 when I was assigned to clear out a property in a rural part of upstate New York. It was one of those dying places, only one gas station, half the businesses shuttered, roads cracked and overgrown. The house itself was a small, one-story place off a dirt road,
GG.
surrounded by overgrown brush and woods on 3 sides. No other homes nearby, just trees and silence.
Let me guess, some weird stuff's in the building. Probably some homeless person, maybe some murder case scenario. Maybe a ritual, probably. I'm thinking a ritual.
According to the file, the house had been foreclosed after the owner, an elderly woman, passed away, and no heirs had stepped forward to claim the estate. The utilities had been shut off for over a year. Our job was to catalog any remaining property, empty it out, and secure it for winter. I drove up on a Monday morning around 9 a.m. with a small box truck and all my gear. From the outside, the house looked intact. Windows closed, door locked, roof fine. Just a lot of weeds and vines climbing up the porch. I had to shove the front door open because it had swollen in the frame, but once inside, everything looked pretty standard. It was dusty, stale air and faded furniture. Then my work phone rang.
Hello?
It startled me because I had no signal out there. I'd already checked and noticed I had no bars, but the phone buzzed anyway. There was no number on the caller ID. It just said unknown caller. I answered, and there was nothing. Just a low crackling sound, like static. I said hello twice, then hung up. Chalked it up to a glitch. I got to work. I always start with photos, documenting every room, every item. The living room was cluttered with old furniture, lace curtains, some framed paintings. It reminded me of my grandma.
Okay, but you can't show this type of... Come on, Mr. Nightmare. You can't show that type of image and say that there was paintings and... Because this is completely different. This is like straight up abandoned. This is like... Okay. Ignore the photo then, I guess.
House. Heavy furniture, doilies, porcelain figures. The hallway had a smell. Not rot, more like mildew and dust, and something faintly metallic. There were 3 bedrooms. One had been stripped bare except for a sagging mattress on the floor. Another was clearly a sewing room, with thread spools everywhere and a dusty machine on the desk. I took a closer look, and there was a corkboard filled with old newspaper clippings. They were mostly obituaries. Dozens of them.
What?
All clipped out with scissors and pinned.
What's an obituary? Obituary. What? Huh? What? What is that? Obituary. An obituary is an article about a recently deceased person newspapers often publish. Although obituaries tend to focus on positive aspects of the subject's life, this is not always the case, according to the Nigel whatever. The obituaries editors edited a time... What? An obituary is a public notice announcing a person's death, often including a short biography that highlights their life achievements and details about the funeral service. Okay.
Mostly obituary. Closer look, and there was a corkboard filled with old newspaper clippings. And they were mostly obituaries.
Okay.
Dozens of them, all clipped out with scissors and pinned carefully to the board. No names I recognized, all local. I moved on. In the master bedroom, there was a rotary phone on the nightstand. I remember stopping and staring at it for a second because I hadn't seen one in years. It was off-white, yellowed with age, with a long coiled cord. The kind of phone that would never ring again because the line had been cut long ago. I moved on to the bathroom. That's when my phone rang again.
Hello? Who's there?
It said unknown caller again. This time, I hesitated. I picked it up, stepped out into the hallway, and answered. Again, nothing. But this time, after about 5 seconds, I heard a whisper. Very soft, so quiet I could barely make it out. It said, "Don't answer the phone in the bedroom." Then the line went dead. I stood there, frozen, heart pounding.
Who's trolling
The
me?
house was dead silent. I checked the windows, all closed. Nobody was outside, and there was no sign of forced entry. My first thought was that someone had pranked me. It's what anyone would think. Maybe one of the other crew guys was messing with me, but no one else knew I was there that early. And again, I had no signal. I checked my phone. 1 bar, then nothing. Like it flickered in and out of existence. I tried calling my supervisor, but the call failed. I decided to finish the job quickly. I started boxing up loose items in the living room. Books, figurines, dusty glassware. But the whole time, I felt off. Like I was being watched. I kept glancing toward the hallway, half expecting to see someone standing down there. Then the phone rang a 3rd time. But not my phone. The rotary phone in the bedroom. I heard it from across the house. A shrill, mechanical ring that echoed through the rooms. That phone should have been dead. The line was disconnected. No dial tone and no service, but yet it rang, like an old-fashioned bell. I walked slowly down the hallway toward the bedroom,
Ghost
phone
Unreal.
still in my hand. It rang again and again.
Ghost Unreal.
I stepped into the doorway. The phone sat on the nightstand, the receiver trembling slightly with each ring. There was no chance I was picking up that phone. The rings eventually stopped. I backed out of the room. I wanted to leave, but part of my job was securing the property, and I still had to check the basement. I almost...
Basement? Uh-oh. Oh, GG. Someone's in the basement. Someone's in the basement. Hold on. Why would you start packing up things? Shouldn't you scan the whole place before you start packing up things? Just saying, like... There's a basement there? How come you're starting to pack up things now? You should be checking the whole place first before you... Like, check the entire building. Like, sweep the whole entire building before you start doing your job. Right? Why would you... Basement? Uh-oh.
said screw it, but something made me keep going. Maybe it was pride. Maybe I just didn't want to admit how scared I was. The basement door was in the kitchen. I opened it slowly. The stairs creaked as I stepped down, flashlight in hand. I smelled mold and something like rust. There were shelves along the wall, filled with old paint cans and some broken furniture. In the back corner, there was a small table. On it, a cordless phone, a newer model. It was gray plastic and covered in dust, and next to it, a stack of yellowed notebooks. I picked one up and flipped through it. Each page had a name and a date and a short sentence. Lena H., July 3rd, 2019. Rang once, didn't answer. Carl M., September 12th, 2019. Picked up, warned him. It was more like this, dozens of entries. I dropped the notebook, and my heart felt like it completely dropped out of my body as I looked around the basement, fearing I wasn't alone down there, that someone was watching me from any corner in the darkness. I rushed back up the stairs, looking behind me the whole time, heart in my throat. I didn't finish the job. I drove straight back to the office and turned in my report. I didn't tell them everything. I just said the property was unsafe and possibly had squatters or interference.
Smart. Okay, hold on now. That's actually pretty smart. You didn't finish the job, and you told them that it's not safe. Okay. Smart. W man right there. No joke.
They reassigned the job to another crew. 2 days later, I got a text from one of the other guys, Mark. He'd gone out there that morning to finish the job. I hadn't told him specifically what happened. His message said, "The phone in the bedroom with no service rang while I was in there. What the hell?" I called his work cell phone immediately, and he told me he didn't answer the phone in the house because he was too freaked out. The next day, Mark apparently quit without notice and never returned to work.
What?
He's not dead or anything. I admittedly looked him up on Facebook eventually, and he'd posted stuff since then, but I never spoke to him again. I don't know what else he saw in the house, but it must have been something bad enough for him to want to distance himself from this job. My boss did call the police to report the potential squatters after Mark quit, but they found nobody inside of the house. Everything about that house, from its location to its eerie, dilapidated interior, to the phone calls to my cell phone, and that voice on that line, and that damn house phone ringing. It's like I found myself in a legitimate horror movie. I swear it had to be one of two things: an elaborate sick prank or an equally elaborate trap.
I don't even know how you do that story. Not gonna lie. What do you even do in that scenario? Also, first of all, don't go. Why would Mark go alone? If the first time you reported saying that there's squatters, why would Mark go alone? Why would the boss send Mark alone? You should be bringing at least more than one person to these things. Matter of fact, you should be bringing the fact that the hunter guy came back saying he couldn't finish the job because there might be squatters, and then 2 days later you decide to just send another solo man. It doesn't make sense. You should be sending in a gang, like a team. You know, like send a team effort there. You know, you could, yeah, straight up, just send in a team there. Also, zero logic on how that phone's ringing, of course, and then also, how can you just say that there was a notebook with people's calling numbers and the police didn't find anything? Missing lots of context. I can't really trust that story, honestly. Too much context missing. Don't know what's happening. Yeah. Right, next story. Can't really learn much from that one, to be honest. Really can't learn from much from that one.
When I was 10 years old, my family moved into a bigger house because my mom had just gotten remarried and we needed more space. The house was nice, newer than the one we lived in before, and it was in a quiet neighborhood with a lot of trees. I thought I would be happy there. At first, everything seemed normal, but then little things started happening that made me feel like the house wasn't right. My bedroom was at the end of the hall. It had 2 big windows that faced the backyard and a closet that was deeper than the one I had before.
Okay.
I liked it, until the first night I slept there.
Yo.
I woke up around midnight because I heard something moving in the closet. It wasn't loud, just soft shuffling like clothes being brushed against. I stared at the closet and told myself it was just the house settling. I know it sounds cliche, but most people, even as children, would assume small sounds coming from here and there in a house are just typical house noises that you hear every day. But then I saw the door move.
Huh?
It didn't swing open, but it shivered like someone had lightly pressed on it from the inside. I wanted to run to my mom's room, but I was frozen. I stayed that way until I fell back asleep, still staring at the closet. The next morning, the closet door was cracked open just a little, even though I had shut it tight. I asked my mom if she had gone in there, and she said no. She said maybe the air vents pushed it, but I knew it wasn't the air vents. The nights after that got worse. I started hearing tapping on the window glass.
These stories, man. The stories when they just like skip so much context is just, it's tiresome. You know, it's like, this happened, and then 2 days later, I'm like, so what did you do in that 48 hours when that happened? You just go, oh, okay, and then just wait. No action taken. Zero action taken. Just waiting for the next thing to happen. Is it me or that's just getting tiresome? No, like, oh, some anomaly event happened. Whatever. And then you get surprised when something else happens. Like, what did you do in that 48 hours? That's okay. Well, it's a 10-year-old. All right, let's calm down for a bit. It is a 10-year-old, but still, it's just like what you do in that 40. It's crazy sometimes. You know what I mean? Straight up, it's like, oh, someone threw a rock at my window. Or no, it's not a good example, but you know what I mean, right? Like, what you do in the 40 hours? Have you actually checked in your closet? You just moved in, right? Have you checked the closet? Have you checked that what? Like, check inside of it? There's no way your closet's full of clothes already. You just moved in. Might have been like a... Did you check the little, you know... Okay, it's a 10-year-old kid. It's a 10-year-old kid.
At first, I thought it was tree branches, but when I looked, there were no branches near the window. The tapping would go on for minutes, and when I pulled the blanket over my head, it would stop. I tried to ignore it until one night I finally peeked out. I saw a pale hand pressed against the window. It was on the outside, but the window was on the second floor, way too high for anyone to reach without a ladder. The hand stayed there for a long time, just pressed, without moving. Then it slid down slowly and disappeared. I didn't sleep at all that night. I told my mom, and she started cracking up laughing when I told her. She didn't believe me for a second. When she saw that I wasn't just saying it as a prank or a joke, she leaned more into trying to convince me that I was probably in a half-asleep state and seeing things from my dream, but I knew that was a load of horseshit. My stepdad didn't believe me either. He said I was making it up for attention, and he also got a laugh out of it. But I started noticing he kept the hallway light on at night, so maybe he didn't feel as safe as he pretended. A month later, my little brother, who was 4, started talking about the White Lady. He would say she came into his room and sat on his bed. My mom thought it was just his imagination, but one night I heard him screaming. I ran in and saw him curled up under his blanket crying. When he finally calmed down, he said the White Lady had been standing by his door, just staring at him. He said her eyes were all black. I believed him because of what I had seen at my window. I started sleeping with the blanket over my head every night, but that didn't stop the dreams. I began to dream of the White Lady too. She would stand in the corner of my room and whisper my name.
What would you do? It's hard to really do something in this situation because these guys are like 10-year-olds and 4-year-olds. Like, their imagination's out of the world. Like, they can straight up start convincing each other that they can fly, and they'll jump off the roof. Hey, you could jump off the roof and you can fly? Really? And then every day they'll start talking about it, saying, yeah, I did a simulation in my dream. I could jump off the roof. We could fly. Really? Let's go fly. And then they kill themselves. It's like, what can you do in that situation? It's like, nuts. Because they're not telling the parents. They're only talking to each other. And again, there's a 10-year-old and like 4-year-old, right? So, and also ghosts don't exist. So obviously this is just some. It's like when a kid. It's just like kids, right? It's like Slenderman, Slenderman. You know Slenderman, right? Kids when you talk about something, it becomes real. Just like depression. Depression is not real if you don't believe in it. But if you believe in it, it's real. And the more you lean into it and believe in it, it'll become real. So, of course, depression is like an adult thing that you can easily just get rid of because it's not real. But when you're a kid, you don't understand that framework yet, so you just believe what you see. So, situation's pretty hard because obviously stepfather couldn't care less. The mother couldn't care less because these are just kids.
Voice was dry, like...
It's like watching it's like when a kid watches a YouTube video, like a kid watches just a YouTube video, right? And then they start coming up with like a stupid, what is that thing when I was younger? The Bloody Mary thing. I remember when I was a kid, at like primary school, right? All of the boys would go to the same bathroom. We would all stand in the mirror and just start saying Bloody Mary like 3 times. And then like all get like a funny, because so many kids believed it, we all got like scared and everyone ran out the bathroom. Because we all believed in it. But then when the teacher came, it's like, what the hell are you guys all laughing at the mirror for? It's like, oh, it's just kids.
Leaves rubbing together. Sometimes I would wake up and still hear it. Faint, but definitely real.
It's not real.
One night I woke up and saw her standing at the foot of my bed.
Sleep paralysis.
She was taller than anyone I had ever seen. Her head almost touched the ceiling. She wore a long white dress.
Yo, that's crazy, Mr. Nightmare. He really added that photo into the video. That's actually insane. Whatever.
Even though the air was still. Her hair was black and stringy, and her face was pale like chalk. Her eyes were like empty black holes. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. I shut my eyes, and when I opened them again, she was gone. But my closet door was wide open. After that, I couldn't go in my closet anymore. I begged my mom to let me sleep in her room, but she said I need to learn how to be brave. I think she didn't want to admit she was scared too.
What?
The worst night came during a storm, heavy rain and loud wind. I woke up to the sound of my window creaking. When I looked, the window was slowly sliding open, even though it was locked. I could see the lock turning by itself. The window opened all the way, and I saw the White Lady climb in. She didn't move like a person. She floated. Her feet never touched the floor. She drifted toward my bed and leaned down until her face was right in front of mine. I felt her cold breath on my skin. She whispered my name.
Jail.
Again,
Seducing a kid.
I screamed as loud as I could.
Seducing a kid. Jail.
My mom and stepdad came. running in, but when they turned on the light, the window was closed and locked, and no one else was there.
So that means the never window open.
They yelled at me for scaring everyone, but I could see in their faces that they were worried. The weird thing about that part of the story is that I don't vividly remember what happened between the moment I saw that lady floating towards me and my screaming. The best I can explain it is that I sort of blacked out for a moment before remembering screaming and having my parents rush into the room.
That's probably like the worst. Actually, I swear that's like one thing I don't know about. But I swear having kids. Is kids gonna have like? That's something I'll never experience. Or not never, but that's definitely one part of parenthood, right? Because I feel like as a kid, when you're a kid, I swear you've had these moments as well, right? So being a parent of that must be how would you deal with that? Not gonna lie, now I think about it, right? When you think about adulthood and having kids, right? How do you deal with kids getting paranoid and stuff? Must be because of something they watched when they're younger, right? But that's pretty. Yeah. I think. How would I deal with a kid that's having like crazy ghost thoughts? Because when I grew up, the way I was taught was you just grow out of it, you just grow older, and you'll be all goods. Like right now. Yeah, I was gonna say we could beat them, but like I didn't get beat, so why would I beat? That's something we'll have to figure out in the future, because like I don't know how you deal with kids being like ghost paranoid stuff, because ghosts aren't real, right? But then I guess to a degree, if you're the parent and you just believe it's not real, then it's not real. It's like, son, Lodal, ghosts, scary. I'm like, that's not real. Shut up, it's not real. Oh, I wouldn't say shut up. I'd be like, it's not real. Oh, well, Lodal, I saw a ghost version of you running up the stairs. And I just look at him and be like, okay, go back in your room. Or, I don't know, play with your stupid. Okay, never mind. He didn't. Hey, I wasn't like that when I was younger, right? No, I mean, my father wasn't like that. He didn't say any of that stuff. But that's just me. I don't know how you deal with those kids, man. I think you just gotta give the kids a framework that's not real. It's like over time, you can just say it's not real. And then don't give the kids dopamine. Be like, every time they have like some kind of event, right? I'll be like, it's not real. And the kid's like, what do you mean it's not real? It is real. I saw it in my eyes. Shut up. It's not real. And then like just keep letting, and then either your child's too retarded and he just deserves it and just make another one. Or you can just see if it grows out of it, right? Is that ruthless? That probably is ruthless. It's like, yo, shut up, there's no paranormal things. And like if the kid somehow like kills himself because he got too paranoid, be like, I'll just make another one. I can always make another one.
Room. My window was closed again, which would suggest to people that it was just a night terror. That's what my parents believed it was, I think. My mom started taking me to therapy for a while because they were worried about me.
Okay, now I blame the parents
We lived
now.
in that house.
I blame the parents now. Taking the kid to therapy? He's a 10-year-old kid. What do you mean by take it to a therapist? You're just feeding the demon. You're feeding it. You're feeding the paranoia now. You're feeding the paranoia now because the kid's telling you that he's having some nightmares, right? Instead of you just saying it's not real, you bring him to a therapist, which the therapist will say, oh, it's real. The therapist will be like, yeah, it's real. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And, you can keep giving me some money every hour. Yeah, just want the money. I mean, no. Yeah, it's real. It's real. Your problems are real. Yeah, you continue. Talk about your problems. Yeah, talk about your oh, yep. Your therapy session is done. $80, please. What? Actually, is that how much that costs? I don't know, but you know what I mean, right? That's a bad parent right there. You're feeding the kid dopamine from the event. If you just said it's not real, shut up. It'll be all goods. Like the kid would just be like, oh, I get no attention from my parents from complaining about this. Okay, cool. It won't exist anymore, right? It's like, yeah, straight up. That's how I solve the problem right now. That's how I solve the problem. No dopamine. Shut up. It's not real. It's not real. And then over time, you give them no dopamine for it. And then, they're just going to be like, well, if I tell my parents that I saw a ghost, they're not going to believe me, so it's not real. And then the ghost will just disappear. Because the ghost will be like, and then the ghost itself will be like, I got no dopamine either for scaring this kid. And just bugger off. And like, since I even talked about ghosts, right? Imagine being in a group of ghosts. Hey, I scared this kid. Who's the kid? So what? Shut up.
for 3 more years.
What? 3 more
I
years?
never got used to it. My brother stopped talking about the white lady, but I think it was because he was too scared, not because she stopped visiting. Sometimes I would hear him crying at night and saying, "Go away." I think he just also didn't want to be forced into going to therapy. Sometimes when it storms at night, I still get scared to even get up to go to the bathroom or get water. I'll glance over at corners of the room, making sure I don't see something
I'm pretty sure Sensei's story was that when he was scared of the dark, his father just shoved him in a room, and then Sensei kept crying until he realized that the father won't give a shit until he stops crying, and then he just stopped crying and not scared of the dark. That's what Sensei did. No, Sensei's story was pretty much he was scared about the dark, so his father said shut up and just shoved him in a dark room until he stopped crying. So sleeping in the dark's not. When you close your eyes, it's fully black. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really actually sleep in the full dark now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't actually sleep in the full dark. There's always like this one little light in the far distance. The last time I've actually slept in pitch black is like probably camping. To a degree. No, not really, because like camping is... It depends. When I was during that military thing, I did sleep in the full pitch black, but you know, the tent was so uncomfortable I couldn't really care less there was no light. And then, you know, if you try sleep somewhere else, there's always street lights. Oh, there's always lights now. Matter of fact, there is always lights. Unless you're in like a super rural blacked out spot. Like full pitch black, but then you just have like a torch or light. People wear like sleeping masks as well. I don't know who does that. I don't. I don't really know. It's too old now to really care.
all lurking there. It goes to show how these kinds of things stick with you into adulthood.
Not really.
I'd be more open to believing it was simply night terrors if it weren't for the fact that I saw that hand on my window before my little brother even first mentioned the white lady. I guess this is just one of those freakish experiences that cannot be explained.
Just tripping, believing in something that's not real. Just like depression. Depression is not real. Story 9 by Rev.
This happened in early December 2 years ago, when I drove up into the mountains to visit an old friend I had not seen in a long time. His fictional name for the story is Scott, and my real name is Jeremy. We had been friends since middle school, but after graduation, he moved out to a small mountain town with his family.
We've seen the story before. We've heard the story before. I think we've actually done it on this channel before, so we're not going to go into it. Story is, if I remembered correctly, this guy, old childhood friend from middle school, he visits him, and then turns out that for some reason, like... Yeah, I already went through the story. I literally flamed this guy's story so hard. He was like, oh yeah, childhood friend. I went to go up to the hills to meet him. And then he just skipped a whole bunch of stupid ass context. And then all of a sudden, there's another dude living in the house that he somehow never knew. Even though he stayed up there for so many days. Yeah, it's the same story. I can remember it.
I almost thought about leaving early. His face was completely hidden in the darkness.
Yeah.
His arms hung at his sides, and he was standing guest room.
Yeah, so childhood friend's house. I didn't like the story at all because when we did the story before, right? The story was just so bad because it missed out so many contexts. Like he would say something like, "Oh, friend was acting a bit sus." Anyways, to the next night, it's like, what did you do in that like 28 hours, 24 hours with your friend? How did you not notice? Like, those stories just annoy me sometimes because it's just, what actions do you take after that? It's like when you discover something and you go, oh yeah, and then you just take 0 action and just wait for it to happen. And this time, this guy's an adult, so he's a bit more to blame. Obviously, went too hard on the 10-year-old kid because, you know, there's a 10-year-old kid, but this guy was a straight up adult. And yeah. I'm pretty sure the story is so retarded as well. He was like, I went to go visit my childhood friend after he sent me a text saying come over. It's like, hold on, you should like talk to him, text to him, you know, get some like Discord calls in him, you know, talk to him a bit before you actually go to his house. Maybe. Or like, you know, honestly, if I had like a friend that was childhood friend, but I haven't seen him in a while, and then they told me, hey, you want to meet up in real life? Here's my house location, and then I would go on Google Maps and look at the house location, and if I see if it's in like a hill that takes me that many hours to drive up to, I'll be like, look, we're basically strangers at this point. You know, I'm not gonna come. You're near like, are you even? Last time I saw you, you were literally had a squeaky voice. You know what I mean? It's like, right, ladies and gentlemen, that was it. I don't know how many days it took us to do this entire thing. I think it took like maybe a week or two for 10 scary true stories. But yeah, I guess we'll read the comments. But it's gonna be hard to read the comments considering that we've been doing this for concurrent days now. So I might not remember the full stories. I actually can't remember the story with the neighbor had with the weird party. No, okay. The couple on the first story sounds like human traffickers. Yeah, I think I remember that one. The one of the babysitter or like the dog sitting. Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it again. So yeah, that was it. 10 horror stories. 10 true scary stories. We're done. Honestly, I don't really remember any lessons. Hopefully you guys watched the previous Earth vlogs and learned the lessons, but today's stories had basically no lessons. I'm sure you guys got like a laugh out of me disciplining future son if I have one. Not really sure, but yeah, when you're dealing with kids that have paranoia, just don't give them dopamine. Just shut up and just shut up. It's not real. It's not. Shut up. And then you can always be cold and ruthless, and like, you know, if your child's really getting that paranoia, then it's just lost cause. GG. Get a new kid. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, weakling. What do you mean? I told you it's not real. You still believe it? Next kid. You know what I mean? All right. Enough talking. See you guys next time. I'll probably be doing some cooked earth now soon. All right. Bye bye.